Let's move on. Markelle Fultz is back, baby. Your Orlando Magic. He played 16 minutes in his debut, shot 5 of 7, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 10 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover. Looked great and, athletic as ever.
Yeah. He looked like he just picked up the ball without skipping a beat. Honestly, he looked like the same Markelle. Very effective. For me, the biggest standout was he's playing like a veteran. He looks like the veteran on the floor when he's with them, even though he's only 24 years old. But he's with these guys and they're looking up to him. And I think that's really going to help out his confidence. I think it's only going to make him a better player. I think once he was on the floor, you really saw, you're like, oh, like he really is a genius level, like passer or facilitator. And like, you've noticed that, like, oh, with him gone and having Cole or Suggs run the offense, this is more crisp. This is like veteran like. So I think that was awesome to see. Obviously he didn't take a 3-point shot. I don't know how much he will, but one guy that I think is certainly going to benefit from it is my guy Franz. Franz is one of the best the top 10 percentile in the NBA for cutting to the rim and most efficient cutters in the league. So I think he's going to be found. I think he's going to be set up. I think all these plays Franz is only going to get better with Markelle on the floor. And I think with this trajectory, I think Markelle's definitely going to steal a starting spot from either Suggs or Cole sooner than later.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Markelle Fultz is going to make the guys around him a lot better. And I think that's going to be a ton of fun to watch in this young team. Like, sure, he's kind of like a veteran at this point to a lot of these guys, but still very young himself. Like you said, 24. So I think like he's got a ton of potential to improve. I'm curious to see how that jump shot will be eventually. I mean, the thoracic outlet syndrome is no joke. A lot of people talked about it just being yips for a bit, but like that is like a terrible nerve issue that shoots up pain up your back as he shoots it, as he shoots the basketball. So it was like obviously a really hard thing for him to overcome, and to get to the point where he is now is fantastic to see. And I'm a big fan of his. Always going to be in his corner.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's the when he got traded, everyone thought it was just going to be a bad contract, but he showed that he can be better. So he's kind of like, I wouldn't say the sweetheart, but everyone's rooting for everyone in the NBA wants him to do well. Especially what happened. And for the uninitiated, thoracic outlet syndrome is very similar to like what Chris Paul had in the playoffs last year, where it just hurt for him to put his arms above his shoulders. That obviously that makes shooting hard. And that's Chris Paul didn't even shoot it during that playoff series against the Lakers. And it's very similar to that, except for he had it for like a whole year and it wasn't getting treated right. But I think
really
now
fucked up his development.
Yeah. Now on this Magic team, I mean, they've looked very not NBA basketball, at least their offense. And I mean, they're the 3rd worst offense in the league, but with Markelle playing, I think they're going to actually look like a comparable offense, and it's going to at least be clean. Whether they make their shots or not is a different story.
Yeah.
But at least they'll look legit on the floor. And
yeah.
I think he adds so much to that, and I'm really excited to see him in further games.
No, that would be cool to see. What do you think so far of first-time head coach Jamal Mosley?
I think it's hard
leading this team correctly with guys like Fultz.
Yeah, so when people look at the coach, a lot of people on these forums, they're saying like he's bad, the Magic are bad, but they didn't hire him to win. They hired him to develop these players, and I think he's done a great job developing all these players. Wendell Carter, he was traded as the Bulls gave up on him. He had potential still, and he's reached that potential. I mean, he's in the last 7 games, 18 points per game, 12 rebounds a game. He's been doing great. Mo Bamba still isn't there, but obviously from Franz, you're seeing improvement in all these guys like Cole and Suggs. That improvement, I think, is a lot attributed to Jamal Mosley, and I think he's doing a great job so far. And I'm not expecting to win, nor should the Magic be. They should be looking for that development in their young players, and I think he's giving that to them.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. Any Magic fan who like wants the team to win games this year is out of their mind, completely out of their mind. It's like, are you there? Are you even a basketball fan? I don't know. Think like everybody wants to see their team have success. But everyone who understands rebuilding, you have to be bad to get good. That's just how it works.
Yep.
Eventually, you hit on a star in the top part of the draft, and like those stars so rarely are anywhere else in the draft. Like sure, we saw Nikola Jokic, now a second round pick, win the MVP. It is a once in a lifetime thing. He's literally the greatest undrafted or the second round player ever, basically. You know, Giannis, how far he fell even just in the first round. It was only halfway through the first round. You know, people talk about like he slipped so far. It's like, well, it was still kind of like a lottery pick.
Yeah, he was a lottery pick.
But you know, you need top picks, you know, and that's what the Magic are doing. They got Jalen Suggs this last draft. That's hopefully a guy who's going to help lead their team, become a star someday. We're seeing it already in Franz Wagner. Cole Anthony's a solid player. Markelle Fultz, ton of potential. We'll see who they add in this next year's draft and the year after. I think these first 3 years are just all about development and see what do you got? You know, who comes out of it? What's your guy? Who are your guys at this point?
Yeah. And they have certainly a lot of talent to play from that pool and work from. So they have done a decent job.
No doubt.
I'm proud of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yo, it's Alec here with Strictly Ball Business. Make sure to subscribe and view our next video that pops up in your queue.